welcome to Going Native with me, Neil Stokes. This is the interview series where I speak to Catalan people, but in English. And today we have an actress, which you might recognise because she's been in lots of things, Mont Plans. Hello, welcome to the programme, Mont. How are you?
Very happy to be here with you. Let's see what happens with my English.
Nothing bad, I hope. No, that we'll be fine. Well, actually, while you're on the subject, I often start these interviews asking people a little bit where they learned their English and stuff. What's your story with that?
My story is 71. I decided to go to London to learn English. I studied for 3 months. I got into a crash course. So 3 months crash course and went directly to London. So I was there and I realized that I couldn't speak a word. But I spent there a year and something. And it's one of the best things I ever did in my life.
Well, it's worked. Because your English is...
Do you think so?
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. And have you used English in your... Because you've got a long career in theatre and film and television and so on. Have you used it at all in... Or is it something...
Not so much in a theatre world. But
more in a private sense.
Yeah, private sense. And also I worked in a bank, in an office. I was a translator in a how do you call these ferias, congresses and all this.
Okay.
So I use it quite a lot. Now not so much because I only have a friend who comes once a year in holidays. And I speak those 2 weeks a year.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not very fluent at the moment, but
That's
anyway, we'll try to do. I'll try to do my best.
I'm sure everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So well. Let's start with your career a little bit then. We haven't got time to go through it all because you've done lots and lots of things.
Well, 30 years I think I'm on this, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. But can you just give us, what are the highlights?
The highlights is suddenly a star as something I didn't expect. I met people from a company that was the beginning of the company, which the name was La Cubana.
Which is very well known.
Yes, now. But not when I get in. When I got in, it was somebody that they got together to do theatre in the street and so. So I was friend of one of the girls on this company, which they were from Sitges. They are from Sitges.
Look, here's some images. Look from the...
Yeah, that's Los Tresina. Yes.
It takes you back.
Yeah, that was fun. It was one of the TV series. And so they said, somebody was missing one day, so they said, do you want to do this? And I said, okay. And then when they got professionals, they asked me if I wanted to go in. So I wasn't without work, so I said yes, but I thought it was going to be something of 3 months or something like that. Yeah. So it was 10 years.
Wow. Yeah.
I was 10 years with them. Then I spent 20 years without them, doing all sort of things, and TV, but mainly theatre. I work for most of the best directors.
Yeah.
And self-productions too.
Okay.
This is something I do when I have no work.
And when did the changeover from theatre to television, for example, was that a planned thing or did it just come about by itself?
I never planned anything in my life. It comes. It comes. My only good thing is that when something passes in front of me, either I let it go or I grab it.
Yeah, that's good.
I grab it and it's good, but I never planned. They see you and they think you're good for so they take you and sometimes. But I didn't do so much TV because I think I'm a theatre woman.
Right. Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you about what you preferred, whether the theatre and television, and why.
I like myself. I better like myself in theatre than in TV. When I see myself on TV, I always think, oh my God, look at that face. You know, I have big expressions and I have to change and be very peaceful. But in theatre, they see me from the last row. So that's good.
A bit of distance is good. But what about the...
And I enjoy theatre. Every day is different, and I enjoy theatre very much.
Because you're not the only actor who's mentioned how much they enjoy theatre, but one of the things as a person who's never done it, looking from the outside, one of the things that I always think about with theatre is this, you know, it doesn't get boring repeating and repeating and repeating the same thing night after night? Because I don't know, how does that work exactly?
No, it's never the same.
No. Oh, it's always different?
Yeah, at
in
least
what
for
sense?
me, yeah. Well, you have to think that the people who's in the audience is the first time they see you.
Right.
So you have to do the best of yourself, because they haven't seen you. It's their first time. So for you, it has to be your first time too. And also, you're not a machine. I mean, TV or cinema, it's a machine.
Okay.
Every day is exactly the same. But theatre, no. So it's never the same. You find yourself saying things on a different way, because your tummy is different, because it's everything. It's different in you. Every day it's different. So you find yourself doing a different play, although it's the same. I don't know, because it's very slight different.
But because you know it so well, you notice the differences very much. And stuff. And that thing as well.
And the public also, the audience is different. They look different. The people you have in front, it's not the one yesterday. Yeah,
because that's the other thing, is that you hear actors talk about, you know, connection with the public and stuff, and again, never having been in front of a large group of people doing something like that. I was curious about what's that connection like? If you could describe it in some way, I don't know.
I think...
Because it's hard to imagine if you're up there on the stage, they're all the way down there, there's lights and so on. I mean, how do you make that connection?
Because it's you have the feeling, the energy goes from one side to the other.
You can feel it?
Yeah, sure. You, by the silence, by the cough, by the laugh, by the everything. So it's you feel it's. You know, I don't know, an animal feels the energy, even if they don't talk. So that's what you feel. It's an animal thing on the stage.
Right,
the way you feel the audience.
And that conditions the way you perform as well,
I
suppose. Because
if you're not... there's people that they are, you know, there must be some people that they are doing every day the same and they don't bother about the audience because they know what they have to do. I'm not the one. I'm very much involved with the connection with the audience. Sometimes it's good, sometimes not so much, but that's my way.
And you said, you seem to give me the impression that the television work, you didn't enjoy it so much.
No.
Why was that?
Well, it's more comfortable. I mean, on TV, they do everything for you. No, you just get there and you do it, and then if it doesn't come properly, then they say cut and repeat it. So it's more. They have not so much pressure. But for me, the results are not the same. It's like getting a can of soup on the store, or getting your nice dish of mother's soup.
That's like homemade. So that's a good analogy, actually. Yeah, because it's both soup, it's both nutritious, but they're very different.
Exactly. I think so.
Oh, that's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy more theatre than TV. And also on TV or cinema, I don't like myself when I see myself on the screen. So I have to wait for a long time to see me. Or like me.
Yeah, I understand. And we were just talking a little bit before about your new project, Sembla Carigui, no?
Yeah.
Which is premiering in a couple of days, in fact.
The 13th of January.
Okay.
Until 7th of February. It will be in La Seca. It's a script we wrote with a friend, Oscar Constantí. And it's my production, because when you don't get anybody to produce it for you, so you have to produce it yourself.
Produce it yourself,
Produce it yourself. And, of course, it begins to be a big...
Here's the
thing. The programma.
Yeah, the poster.
Yeah, the poster, well, it's more things. Anyway, the thing is that it begins as a big idea, you know, with everything on the stage, on the stage and so on. And then when you have to produce it, you start saying, this is not needed.
Oh, okay.
I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this. And then it's a poor production, but poor for the money, not poor for the meaning. It's a very strong play. I think people like it, and also people will be surprised about me because it's a character that I've never done before. As nobody pays for it, so I can do it as I like, and I wanted to do it for a long time, ages. So I do it, and I hope people like it.
So where did the idea come from then originally? Well, first of all, tell us a little bit what it's about, just more or less, so we know where we are.
It's a very old woman, 100 years old, that just died. And is waiting to cross the light.
It's one of the great things now about culture is you can do a story about someone who's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's the thing I love about like literature and things is that if you want to,
it's the magic.
Well, I can make a dead person speak. It is the magic, exactly. That's fantastic. Sorry, go on.
No, it's exactly what I feel. It's. And I always wanted to do this. I wanted to do a
this is an idea you had in your mind for a long time?
For a long time. A dead person who talks, explains her life, that can see what's out and what represents that for her. Because we always fear about death.
Yeah.
And it's not bad for everybody. There's people that waits for death as a liberation. Because it's people who really suffers.
And is this woman? Was she eager to die?
Yeah, she
wanted to. She was ready.
She's happy at the end
because she's tired.
Yeah, she's tired. She's ill. She spent the last 10 years suffering. She really wants to go. All her beloveds are already on the other side, so she really wants to go, and she's happy that she left. And she explains all her life, the way she worked, the way she suffers, because there is a judge, a people that they're going to judge, or they're going to let her go in.
Right, I see. Yeah.
And it's everything. It's funny, and it's sad, and it's touching. I think it's got a little bit of everything.
Well, it's good. It's good for modern times, no? Because with people living longer, and there's more and more old people and so on. More and more people are going to find themselves in that situation where they think, hang on. I've done everything and so on, but I'm going to live for another 20 years and so on. So it's an issue that some people have.
I know a few people that they had enough. They had enough. Of course, I think life is the best thing in the world, no?
But only a life well lived,
only
no?
I mean,
a life sitting in a chair looking out the window for 20 years is probably not so great.
If you can look at the window and enjoy what you see.
Well, of course.
But if you're like that, and you don't see, you don't feel, you don't remember, it's difficult. It's difficult. But anyway, this is something that everybody has to choose. I hope there will be one day that you'll be able to choose what you want to do with your life, you know? At the moment, you cannot choose. And but it's I wanted to do it a long time ago. I always felt this. For example, I have many photos from all the cemeteries. I like these little houses.
I see, like the tombs and things.
It's incredible. There are lots of flowers, of photos of the persons who are in there, and it's a folklore, really, you know. And I have this aesthetic surprise. I don't know if I like, but I'm amazed the way that people see death, no?
Yeah. Well, I suppose if you've got a personal project, you want to do it, I imagine after all these years you know a lot of people in the business and all this sort of thing. But is it difficult to be able to get a production on like that? Tell us a little bit about the process.
Well, you go with your script to producer, and they say, well, in my theatre we don't do this.
Bye-bye. Okay.
It's very nice, your script, but we don't do this. Another, well, we do classics. Another, well-known writers. Another... So finally, you find a very little theatre. They do personal projects, and they like me to have me there. And they say, okay, there's no money. I mean, there's the money that people will pay for the entrance, but there's not producing.
Yeah,
so I had to produce it. As I am alone, and but I have to pay. Someone helped me with the music. Someone helped me with the lights. Someone helped me with rehearsals. So it's money that I'm going to pay, but I don't mind because I think it's what it has to be if I want to do something. But yes, you suddenly realize that if you have a good text, a good script, you don't need so much things, so many things. You don't need so many things. So at the end, it's me going out the stage and sitting down on a chair and explaining a thing, a story. And that's it. It's that what all you need.
Well, the rest of it could be a bit of a distraction as well, because
it depends.
If you need to make that sort of intimacy with the audience, you need it just to be you.
But it depends.
Yeah.
There is time for everything.
Yeah.
No? You can make something that you need. Dancers, singers, decorations, but you can do something without if you have something to say, and it's only this what you need at the end. No?
Yeah.
But I enjoyed doing it. I only did it once with very few people because I wasn't insecure. We were, my friend and I, Oscar and I, we loved what we did, but we didn't know if people like it. So I did it with a few people, and they love it. So I'm happy, and I'm excited about the 13th beginning with it.
Well, it's not long now, yes, so it's the big moment.
It's around the corner.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. And what about the, whenever I look at the theatre, for example, in Catalunya, it always seems like, at least from the outside, it seems like it's very healthy and very vibrant. There's always things happening, there's always plays being announced and so on. From the inside, how does it look from the inside? Does it look different?
I think the thing is that there is no money.
Right.
That's the problem.
That's the big thing.
That's the big problem. But what there is a lot of energy and illusion from people. There's so many people going to school, learning the career of actors and dancers and designers and all this, no? Then they have to do it themselves. So they make their own productions. And that's the way we start. That 30 years ago or 40 years ago, when comedians, when the Goll de Gom, when all this La Cubana, they start with no subventions. There's no money from the government. It has been later, but at the beginning, we didn't have money from the government at all. So we did with our work, with our money, and now they began doing it exactly like that too, because it's tough times.
Yeah,
it's very tough.
Well, they've been cutting culture budgets and so on. No. But I suppose, is there an element, though, of, for example, in the United States, I suppose it must be privately funded by private companies, private individuals and so on, because they don't depend so much on public handouts and things. Well, that must be something which might be something to develop here, no?
Well, now, there's crowdfunding now.
Okay, that's another one.
That's a very good thing.
Yeah.
You have people to help you.
Yeah.
That's good.
It is good.
I always think I did my productions 3 things, and I never asked for money. So it's something that you have, when you have some money on your account, you either go on holidays or you go buy yourself a car or a new expensive bag, or you you talk with some friends and saying, I want to do this,
Yeah.
and then we do it and go with it, no?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the way I like it myself, because I don't think I could do it otherwise.
Yeah. I suppose as well now, as when you think about it these days, with the internet and so on, it does open up possibilities for people who have got personal projects that big theatres or even if it's like writing or anything that they big projects that they won't get on through a public institution or but they can still get to people now in a way we couldn't before.
I think that there's theatres that they have subventions from government. These theatres, they should really help actors.
Yeah.
More than they do, probably.
In what sense help them though? In sort of like providing them with
with
training or with places or opportunities and things?
Opportunities or a little bit of production or or maybe assuring some of the funds at the end, because I'm going to do this, but if people don't come or don't pay, because at the end people goes to the theatre, but I don't know what they do in different ways to get discounts or whatever.
Everybody asks for free tickets.
Exactly. But if they come and pay, I will make a little money, because it's a very small theatre.
Yeah.
So if they don't come, at least the theatre, it would be nice. I'm not saying about mine, because the La Seca is making quite a few things with... but... to assure you a minimum amount of money.
To make it worth doing it, I suppose.
Worth doing it,
Of course, yeah. The one thing, though, I've noticed is because of what we're talking about, where there being less and less money all the time available to put on productions and so on, if you look in the past, you would get these macro productions, with, as you were saying before, with 100 dancers and an orchestra and all that. And these days there's an awful lot of very sort of small productions, which may be fantastic, but it seems to be like, is that healthy in the long run? Because it's like limiting the range, no?
Yeah.
And it would be nice to maybe to see some big productions. And
but
I worry sometimes a little bit about that, no?
Well, you have to find the places. I mean, there's the National Theatre, Teatro Nacional, which they can afford. I mean, they have to do it, these things, where they cannot go to a commercial theatre. But then there's a commercial theatre, and they do commercial things where a lot of people goes. The problem is with the small productions, and when it's not just laugh, it's... But I think there must be a way of... I don't know how to say in English. We cannot let people go only to see one kind of theatre. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. There should be a range, of things.
Yeah, but people, it seems like if just want to go to laugh, they say, no, I don't want to go to the theatre to cry. The theatre, I want to laugh. My life is very tough. I want to laugh. But then they go to the cinema to cry.
Yeah.
Why not to the theatre?
Yeah.
Theatre, it's a factory of feelings, everything, no?
Yeah.
And it's so nice to go to the theatre and get yourself emotional.
Well, the one thing it has got, I think, is that it's real people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's one thing watching things on a screen, and these days with computer graphics, you're not always sure if it's a real person on the screen, no? It could be but in the theatre, that is a real person speaking, moving, sweating, spitting on me.
Spitting on me, yeah.
And that, it has that, and nothing else has that, I suppose.
And also, young people from the schools, to go to the theatre, not just to see something, because they are going to enjoy very much. Oh, it's so funny. No, why not? They have to take them to see small productions of dramatics, to see what's going on, to learn. I mean, they have to learn to be in the theatre too, because sometimes young people don't know. They think they are watching TV. They're not watching TV. They have to be silent. They have to be respectful. So it's, well, that's culture, huh?
And speaking about young people as well, is that, I mean, It's understandable in a country like Catalonia, which has a, you know, I mean, it's not that small, but its population is what, 7, 8 million, whatever, 7 million, and you see the same old faces again and again. So I've been here for 20 years, and when I watch the television or something, it's like... And they're very good, don't get me wrong. They're very good actors and so on. But it's sort of wondering... I wonder if there are many opportunities for young actors coming up, because it seems like they've got a stranglehold on all of the best parts. And it's always the same guys. It's always the same people in everything. No? I don't know what...
But there's a lot of young people working... What is difficult to get work is old people. I mean, I'm not old, but people after 60, it's very difficult. There's not roles.
Well, one thing I did want to ask you about, actually, is the whole... And for women, in particular, that how, in your experience, how does that work? Because it seems like... and I've talked to other people who've mentioned it to me, you know, about how once you get over a certain age, because there's these stereotypes that you have to fulfill, they just drop you until you reach another part of your life when they want to. So, I mean, for women particularly... it goes against them, no? That sort of the system, the way it works.
The difficult thing, it's you have to wait for them to get you, to call you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm against. That's why I'm doing my own things, no? Because I want to work. I want to work. I like to work. So I have ideas, and I try to take them to make them true, no? And but most of the times you retire because there's no roles for older women. And also there's a lot of older women because all you know, we go, all of them. And there's only one role or two.
Which isn't right, because, I mean, something like theatre should reflect society, no? So there should be a general reflection with that and so on.
But the authors, they are young. So they are in their place, no? But anyway, I think what we don't have to lose is the idea that Catalonia, you said, is a small country, but during a lot of years, they were the first on theatre. All the companies, the private companies, they come from here. So there's a great tradition, theatrical tradition from ages and ages, no? Every little village has their theatre, So I don't think we can afford to lose this.
No. I mean, Catalonia has a very strong cultural output, no? For its
we
its
have
size.
to fight to keep that tradition, this culture of theatre, because otherwise, if we lose it, I think it's very important.
Well, if it's you lose it, you probably won't get it back, no? That's the thing, it'll be lost forever, which would be the shame, I think, no? Well, you're doing your bit.
I'm doing my
to help that, which is good, and that's positive and stuff.
Let's see what happens with this, and after I think I can say already, because in March, I think, I start again with La Cubana, with the last production of La Cubana, which is going to be in September in the theatre. And, well, never stop as much as I can.
Yeah.
No?
Well, I think that's great, because you just seem like you're just going to keep on going as long as you want to, and not feel the need to sort of
sometimes
to give
I think,
it up.
I should retire, really. I should go to Cuba or whatever. But then I get bored. I really need some action in my life.
I think you're absolutely right about that. No, and keep it going, keep it going.
I'm very happy. I don't know if my English is getting very stuck. I'm 5 years old in English speaking. It's like I have the vocabulary of a little girl, no?
Don't worry, that's about the level of our audience. So don't worry. No, your English is absolutely fine.
Okay.
Well, Mont, thanks very much for coming on.
Thank you.
I've really enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you.
And best of luck with the play.
Thank you.
That's Sembla Carigui La Seca from the 13th of January. So everyone go and see it. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
This was Going Native with me, Neil Stokes. See you next week.